the world of Dark Souls, rings are an equipable item that will help you along your journey through the lands of Lordran. With 41 available rings and only 2 slots to hold them at any one time, here is my guide on the top 15 rings that will serve you best during your playthrough. Number 15. The Ring of Sacrifice, when equipped, acts as a temporary safety net for your souls and humanity, and means you will lose nothing upon death. However, it can only be used once and will break when you die. If you are in human form and die while wearing the ring, you will also stay in human form upon revival. The ring will also protect any unretrieved bloodstain, and will still be available to retrieve after you have been revived. This is extremely handy if you need to retrieve a bloodstain from a particularly tricky area and you're not certain you will be able to escape from it. There are 4 ways to obtain this ring. One can be obtained from a corpse at the bottom of the aqueduct between Firelink Shrine and the Undead Burg. A second can be obtained from the Painted World of Ariamis, up on the ledge to the right of the well in the open courtyard. And a third can be obtained by trading a single humanity with Snuggly the Crow in the Northern Undead Asylum. And finally, you can also buy the Ring of Sacrifice from Oswald of Karim for 5,000 souls. Number 14. As with the Ring of Sacrifice, the rare Ring of Sacrifice prevents you from losing any souls and humanity upon death, but will break after it has been used. One additional feature to this ring is that it will also prevent you from receiving the Curse status after you have died. This makes this ring extremely useful when traversing the depths and also during your first encounter with Seath the Scaleless. There are 4 ways to obtain this ring. The first is to trade a twin humanity with Snuggly the Crow in the Northern Undead Asylum. The second can be found in Sen's Fortress in a chest in the tower guarded by Prince Rickard. The third is in New Londo Ruins on the roof near Ingwood. And the 4th rare Ring of Sacrifice can be found in Lost Izalith, on a ledge that's accessed from one of the twisting branches. Number 13. The orange Charred ring, when equipped, has 2 functions. Firstly, it reduces lava damage by 80%, making this a must-have ring if you intend on traversing the lava lake at the start of Lost Izalith. Secondly, it will add a small amount of fire damage to both your kicking attack and when you drop on top of enemies. This ring is dropped from the Centipede Demon, from either killing it, or when you chop off its tail, a small worm will fall off. Then when you kill the worm, it will drop the ring. Number 12. In Dark Souls, trudging through areas with deep water, tar and the poison swamps of Blighttown can take some time, but with the Rusted Iron Ring, you can walk and run freely through these areas without any speed penalties. The Rusted Iron Ring is located on the edge of a broken staircase in the Northern Undead Asylum, and can only be retrieved on your second visit, and it's locked behind a door requiring the Undead Asylum Floor 2 West Key, which is located on top of one of the buildings in Firelink Shrine. For a full guide on how to get this key, check out my video linked at the top right corner of the screen. Number 11. The Tiny Beings ring will increase your maximum HP by 5%, so it's a nice little boost, especially during the early stages of the game. There are 2 ways of obtaining this ring. The first is to select it as your starter gift, which is very handy for new players to ease some of the punishment that Dark Souls has to offer. The second way to obtain it is later on in the game in Anor Londo. You will receive the ring as a reward from Sigmar of Katarina once you have cleared the room adjacent to him containing the several Silver Knights. Number 10. The Darkwood Grain ring changes your dodge and roll to a faster cartwheel-esque flip that covers more ground, but only when you're at 25% or less of your total equipment load. It also increases your invulnerability frames from 12 frames to 14, and your character recovers from rolls faster, going from 12 frames to 8 frames. Also, while flipping across lava, you will take roughly half as much damage as you would have done if you had ran normally. The Darkwood Grain ring can be acquired by defeating the bodyguard that follows Shiva of the East in either Darkroot Garden or Blighttown, but you will first need to be in the Forest Hunter Covenant for the bodyguard to appear. One added bonus to this ring is that if you roll just right over a corpse of a lighter enemy, it will launch their ragdoll body into the air. Hours of fun. Number 9. The Covetous Gold Serpent ring makes finding and farming items much easier, as it boosts your item discoverability by 200. This can also be stacked with the item discovery boost received when using a humanity. This ring is located in Sen's Fortress. First, go to the boulder contraption and move the lever so that the boulders head down the main staircase, the one that you run up to access the contraption room. Then, cautiously follow the boulder all the way down to the bottom and enter the side room. Then, wait for 5 or 6 boulders to fill up the hole on the floor. Once the hole is full, you can then enter the room and collect the Covetous Gold Serpent ring located on the ledge. Before we move on to the next one, if you are enjoying the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and ring that bell to make sure you don't miss out on even more Dark Souls content. Number 8. The Ring of Steel Protection will increase your physical defense by 50 points, and is a great way to improve your odds of surviving a physical attack, as all enemies in the game will deal some form of physical damage. This ring is located in Sen's Fortress at the top of the first area where you encounter the rolling boulders. It is guarded by a Serpent mage, but if you wait in the doorway on the left hand side halfway up the ramp, the boulder will most likely kill the mage. Once the mage is dead, Enter the room at the top of the ramp and you will find the Ring of Steel Protection in a chest at the far end of the room. Number 7. The Ring of Sun's Firstborn will boost the strength of offensive miracles by 20%. It will also increase the amount of health restored by healing miracles as well, but it won't affect the knockback of miracles such as Force. The Ring of Sun's Firstborn can be found in Anor Londo, at the bottom of the rotating staircase in the Darkmoon tomb on a corpse to the left of Gwyn's statue. Number 6. The Bellowing Dragoncrest ring will increase both sorcery and pyromancy damage by 20%. It can be stacked with the Crown of the Dark Sun for an additional 10% bonus to magic, or the Crown of Dusk to boost sorceries, miracles and pyromancy's damage by 20%. This is a must-have ring for anyone wanting to focus on magic during their playthrough. The Bellowing Dragoncrest ring can only be purchased from Griggs of Vinheim for 20,000 souls. Number 5. For the honkiest chonkiest builds, there is one ring to rule them all, and that is the Havels Ring, as it boosts your maximum equipment load by a huge 50%, enabling you to wield some of the biggest weapons and heaviest armor sets the game has to offer, without fear of reducing your movement speed. The Havels Ring can be obtained by killing Havel the Rock, who is located in the shortcut between the Undead Burg and Darkroot Basin. This shortcut can be accessed with either the Master Key or the Watchtower Basement Key. Number 4. The Ring of the Evil Eye enables you to absorb 30 HP from every enemy you kill. This is a very handy ring to have, as it means you can save your SS Flask for more dire scenarios. However, this ring will not stack for multiple kills, so if you take out 2 enemies at the exact same time, it will only count as 1 kill, and you will only receive 30 HP. The Ring of the Evil Eye can be found in the depths, in the area with all the basilisks, so while it is a handy ring to have, it may not necessarily be worth putting yourself in a position where you may get cursed in order to retrieve it. Number 3. The Covetous Silver Serpent Ring, while offering no tactical advantage, has one of the best abilities of all the rings in Dark Souls. This ring will increase the souls you receive when you kill any enemy by 20%, and this makes it a must-have item for any playthrough, especially if you are in a position where you find yourself underleveled and need to farm souls quickly. This ring will also stack with the Symbol of Avarice to make a combined additional soul bonus of 44%. The Covetous Silver Serpent Ring can be found in the Tomb of the Giants, on a ledge near the second bonfire. Once you have killed the second skeleton dog, you will encounter an archer trying to shoot at you. Kill the archer and then drop down by the corpse behind it, and you'll find a hidden path leading to the ring. But be careful though, as you will be ambushed by 5 skeleton towers once you pick up the ring. Number 2. The Cloranthy Ring is a must-have ring in Dark Souls, as it increases your stamina regeneration by 20 points per second. And as your base stamina regeneration is 45 points per second, this ring makes one hell of a difference. The effects of this ring stack with the Grasscrest Shield, Mask of the Child, and Green Blossoms. Obtaining it does take a little bit of work, but it is 100% worth it. The ring can be found in a secret area in the Great Hollow. If you're not sure how to access the Great Hollow, check out my video in the top right corner of the screen. Once you have accessed the Great Hollow, head partway down this branch, and then run and jump into the centre of this hollowed tree trunk, and you will find the Cloranthy Ring waiting for you on the floor. Number 1. And finally, my one ring to rule them all is none other than the Ring of Favour and Protection. And what an OP ring this is. The Fat Ring has the holy trinity of boosts, increasing your maximum HP by 20%, stamina by 20%, and also increases your maximum equipment load by 20%. This ring does it all, but it comes at a cost. Once you equip the ring, you can't unequip it, otherwise it will break. There are 2 Fat Rings available per playthrough. The first is by trading a Xanthus crown to Snuggly the Crow in the Northern Undead Asylum, and the second is by killing Lautrec of Karim. Depending on whether or not you want to do the full questline for Lautrec, you can either kill him when he first returns to Firelink Shrine by unceremoniously kicking him off the cliff, or you can wait until you invade his world in Anor Londo. Personally, I say kick him when he's down, and then enjoy the benefits of the Ring of Favour and Protection for the majority of your playthrough. It is worth noting that Dark Souls is a vast game with varying enemies and environments, so while some rings may be better suited for certain areas and encounters, these 15 rings are the most useful for your everyday playthrough. And even the 26 I didn't mention are still worth taking a look at too. For me, if I could only pick 2 rings to have equipped during my playthrough of Dark Souls, I would 100% choose the Ring of Favour and Protection and the Cloranthy Ring. Other than a couple of scenarios where I literally have to switch out for progression, such as the Covenant of Artorias Ring for accessing the Abyss and the Four Kings, or the Orange Charred Ring for exploring Lost Izalith, my top 2 rings serve me well in every other aspect of the game, and I guarantee they will fare you just as well. But for now, that's it! Let me know in the comments section below what your favourite rings are in Dark Souls. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Dark Souls content.